It's time for fun and shenanigans. Let's get into it.
So
I almost messed that up.
that's, you know what? That's okay. You got it.
I
You
did.
got it.
I did. Because I feel like if I just click record, it's recording, but I have to choose how I want to record
Oh,
it.
that's right. Like,
Computer or the cloud. And
or
I'm
the
like,
cloud. I think you do cloud, right?
I do cloud now. First, I think I was doing
Yeah.
computer and I was like, why am I eating up my
I was gonna say
space?
that's basically just,
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah, doing that, taking up a lot of
Hard drive.
storage.
Hard drive.
That hard drive.
Yeah.
Um, what's going on, little Lisa?
The house is sold.
Amen. Amen.
It is gone.
Amen.
We are at the end of 2 weeks on this hairdo.
It looks good. It
I,
does.
yeah,
I'm so
thank
glad
you.
you let it be.
Well, I have to. I gotta let the everything like reconnect really well. So,
No, well, I know, but
oh,
you
I
were
really
saying
want to.
how difficult it would be because you
It
like to
is.
switch it up a lot. Yeah.
I do. I'm like,
But some people, even though that's what they should do, they're just like, I
mm.
can't take this anymore. And they go rogue.
The
But
cheapskate in me is like, even though he was a
oh,
really reasonable price, I'm like, you paid.
money is spent is money spent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not undoing the
So
progress.
I get it.
Yeah.
I fully understand. Yeah, and that's the thing too. People will spend so much money on getting something done
And then undo it.
just because they're restless. And I get the feeling of being, well, I don't.
I cannot
But
relate.
I can understand like the feeling of like when well, some things like when to switch it up, like whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I would always refer back to the money spent. And like, no.
Yeah, I have a whole room painted in a color I don't like, but
Uh,
I paid for someone to
we
do it, and
we talked about this.
they're
Yeah.
supposed to do it.
Well, I didn't even pay for someone to do it. Like
If you did, yeah, that's even worse, or just the
I
same.
could, well, I
The effort.
think, no, I think that speaks to how it's just done because I didn't pay for this.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, but yeah, when I think about the process, ooh, like it was so painful. So,
Yeah.
so I think that's where I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care about any kind of imperfections. I don't like actually I
I
still
like
don't
that
like it
color.
that crazy, but it's grown on me.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but
and it might be different in person. It looks great on screen to me.
but the funny thing is I wanted like sage green. So this is why this is like hilarious because this is completely different from sage green, but it's moody. It's
Yeah.
moody.
Yeah.
And it's nice to it's nice to be in like a little moody kind of space because
Hmm.
everything else is not. Um and I like in terms of like home decor
Hmm.
aesthetic. I like nice and clean and I like the marriage of like minimal
Hmm.
with cozy. And like so
Yeah.
if I ever like hire a designer or whatever, um to like help me out in that space, it would be interesting to see how a professional like marries those two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and you can have like when you have different rooms and stuff like that, you can have different feelings in different
Yeah, of
rooms,
course.
but
That's the beauty of different rooms.
it's so
New moment.
it's so funny how I think about like oh because sometimes I'll go oh gosh like to have I mean I'm nowhere near like buying a home but I I don't I think there was a point where it was just like oh I need to but I'm coming across a lot of um content whether it is social media whether it's just me on Google like one of those news stories that come up or whatever
Hmm.
about how home ownership is not for everyone. And about like if because there are a lot of people who, because there's equity in home. There's things that home, provides you, like assets and stuff like that. But I've come across a lot of people who they rent and they're happy renting. They have no plans on buying a home anytime soon, but they are very plugged into investment. So they are still, very
Yeah.
conscious of like their money. And you know how we talked about earlier about how what's valuable to you might not be valuable to someone else, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so people go, oh, well, renting is a waste of money. But I've never seen it like that because I have a place to live. If
Yeah.
it's paying for me to
It
live
provides it.
somewhere,
It answers a need. It solves a need.
yeah, then you know what I mean? But it just makes you think about other ways because there are benefits that come from, being a homeowner and also benefits, renting too. But it makes you think about like financially other ways to really like be able to like invest and build wealth and stuff like that. And wealth
Yeah.
also is subjective, right? So, um, but yeah, I think where I was going with this was I used to like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want a big house, blah blah blah. That's just not what I want, like anymore. I want whether it's whatever it is, I want something like for me, my priority has changed to having something that is smaller and has charm and is
Hmm.
low maintenance because
You could
I
have bought
want
my house, man. It was
um,
small, low
small,
maintenance.
but low maintenance because
It did have a
um
yard.
yeah, see, like honestly, like even like a townhome or a condo or something, just something low maintenance because I want to get up and go. I want to lock the door and get up and travel. Like that's where my life is. I don't have
Yeah.
young kids. I
Yeah.
have a 20-year-old who can
Oh
get up
my.
and travel with me or who can, do his own thing if he, chooses to do so. I'm at such a different space, in my life. So the goal is not to have a yard and, a big old house and something that is, I don't want to be house poor and I don't want the time and stuff that comes with investing, and having a home. Um,
I mean, I
and
think
it's
that's
so
a
weird
fair
because I think,
assessment, but there's so many ways to own a home. Like what it sounds
yeah.
like is you want a condo, which is,
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
the more I look into that, like if I ever get to that point,
When
um,
you get to that point,
but it doesn't have to be a win.
but
Like
the
I
thing is,
think I think
there's one thing, there's a
homeowners,
win if you choose to take it, and there's a
yeah,
win if you don't. Like you can
yeah.
be at that point and say, I still don't want to take that path.
Well,
They're going to see you as
I think
baby
I I
at the point
think
of making the
fi
choice.
I think financially, what looks good for me is to have options
Right.
but that's not just for home, it's for like just options.
Everything. Of course.
And so, but I think, and this is not like towards you, even though I think you are passionate about people buying homes, but homeowners
Look, if I'm not buying a
tend,
home for you, I don't have nothing to.
that's true, right? Homeowners get really like passionate about, oh, you're renting, that's a waste, or like, and I'm just talking about like Discord I've seen, in places
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's like, down, calm down.
So it all depends on where you are in your life and what your needs are. I have a friend that has a significant amount of money, and I mean a significant amount of money. She could go buy a
Mhm,
house tomorrow, but
mhm,
she prefers at this moment in her life renting because
mhm.
similar to what you said, there are just aspects of home ownership that she doesn't have to manage. If
Yeah.
something goes wrong, it's the landlord's responsibility. Just all
Mhm,
kind of things. If she, I guess, is ready to go, maybe she would have to pay like an exit fee essentially, but that's different than I have to
mhm,
sell my house,
mhm,
and I feel like people judge each other so much, and I'm not living your life.
mhm.
I can't tell you what's best for you and what makes you comfortable, and I can share with you the pros and cons.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, unless I'm putting in on it, that's up to you.
You
Like,
know, it's so funny you mentioned pros and cons because this is like this is off this whole subject, but I love reading reviews.
oh, review.
They, as much as I get overwhelmed with reviews, they are so helpful.
They're so I don't trust people's judgment.
No, no, no. It's not, that's what I'm saying. I don't go by the one
Yeah.
to five. I go
Yeah.
by what they are reviewing,
Oh,
not
I
that
know what you
numerical.
mean. Their commentary.
Because, because
Hmm.
somebody will rate something a one,
Hmm. And
and
they're
then I read it, and I'm like, oh, that's a one to you, but it would be a five to me.
right.
And it's okay
Oh,
for it to be a one to you. Like, because, so let me give you an example.
uh-huh.
They'll say, I'm going to give this a one because this mattress is too firm. And that's fair for you.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, oh, I love a firm mattress.
Right.
And everything you're describing sounds
Is what I
perfect
want.
for me. And so I get a lot of just it's like a feedback loop. I get a lot of
Yeah.
information from the ones and to the five, everything in between. So I just say that in terms of like pros and cons. It really is just share, like if you share what you know, because what could be a pro to you could be a con to someone else, vice versa. And so you just have to decide for yourself, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just for some reason I thought about reviews and I was just like, oh my God, like let me tell you something. I jumped to those reviews that say one because also it might be helpful too. Like, well,
Yeah.
they're all helpful, but it might be like, oh, I agree with that. Like,
Right.
because like for me and my lifestyle, or I don't agree with that, but thank you for that because that was still helpful. And now I could
Helpful.
feel like I'm more prepared in making this purchase, especially if it's a bigger purchase.
What I find, if I choose to do a review, I'm very thorough with my review. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Because I find when people do reviews, and every once in a while I'll get a notification from Google where it's like, this many people found your review to be helpful. And I'm like, so nice.
I know it's wild. And I've only done really two, I think, reviews, and those things are still coming back to me. I'm still getting
Yeah, I'm like, huh?
notifications
What
years
review is
later.
this? But what I find, people don't always understand the difference in product versus experience.
Mhm.
So you'll be like, I'm trying to figure out if the product works. And they're telling me that the Amazon driver left it on the back porch instead of the front, therefore it gets a one. And I'm like,
Mm. That's
that
what you gotta
is
read.
service. How did the product work?
Mhm.
Or they'll say the product was great, but
I see that a
I'm
lot. I
like,
do. I mean, like,
you knock this person down from like a perfect score to a
hmm
4.7 because yes, it arrived after the time you needed it, but it still worked. It still was a
hmm
good quality product. And the
Yeah,
fact that people can't tell the difference in the two frustrates me. A, being a victim of that working in customer
it
service.
is
I had to
frustrating.
wait in the
Yeah,
queue a long time. That wasn't my fault. I did a great job. We kikied on the phone.
I know that's right. I
Got the problem solved. We had a good time. You blah blah blah. And now you're giving me a one because you waited in the queue.
I will say that with the DoorDash in
Mm-hmm.
particular, I don't know about the others, but what's you doing? What you reaching for? What's going on over there?
Coffee. Awesome.
Oh, amen to that. I will say that with DoorDash, they they've taken they've removed a lot of like 1 star, 2 star reviews.
If you don't leave a reason, don't give me 1 star and you don't put a reason.
No, they've removed it if they say the wait was too long, or whatever, like because they know that's not our fault, and
Right.
so they
That's good.
I guess there's like AI that watches out for the trigger words and stuff like that.
I remember when
Um,
that first started hitting our job. You remember that with dissatisfiers or whatever? They're like, we used to have to track it. Then they're like, don't worry about it. We'll track it on the back end. And I'm like, how do they
It's
know that?
gotten so much more advanced since you were
Oh, it's
there.
creepy. I'm
It's
like,
gotten so much more advanced. I love it. It's gotten so much more advanced because it's
but I've
helpful.
had, I
It's
used to have people
helpful.
that were shady like me with being dissatisfied. I'm like, is the algorithm picking that up? Because I'd be like, yeah, that was great. I had to wait
Mhm.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
So is the computer picking up my shade?
Pro- Maybe one day it will.
Yeah.
As it advances, it will have a shade,
It's like we have an amiable, shady
a shade.
tracker.
Oh, got an
Not
amiable
happy.
over here. Amiable over here. Lights need to go off for fucking y'all. And I'm part amiable too, but
I'm
lights need to go
all
off.
of the
Emergency
things.
lights. Like,
I'm
woo!
all of those things depending on what the problem is
Hmm.
and who I get on the phone.
I would say for the most part, I'm just chill. Like, I feel
Mm,
like I'm amiable. But so for the most part, that's me. But in the role that
rarely
I'm
me.
in the
Hmm.
roles that I'm in, that's when you'll find me. So like as a mom, I'm not that. As well in terms of like,
I'm like,
no, yeah, no, I'm not that as a mom. So yeah, I'm not that as a mom. So I guess that's a big part of my life. So I don't know. As a matter of fact, I'm exhausted, honestly, having a 20-year-old. And
uh-huh.
I looked at him and I was just like, somebody should pay me for all the shit I gotta teach you in this life.
Mm.
I looked at him and I said, Chris, it's exhausting. I just want you.
Yes. I
I
have
said,
been
I'm
alone for two
tired.
weeks, Tanya. Three against one.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
And we
That's
just
wild.
roll with. They did. I can't say it.
That's wild. That's and you know what? I thought about that too in terms of having another kid. I was like, if this doesn't work out, which I knew it wasn't, I was like, oh my God, it'll be two and then me, because of course they would be with me for the most part,
Mhm.
which has turned out to be the case with
Yeah.
with Chris. So I was like, nah, I'm good.
Well, they entertain each other, but they also fight
Mhm.
each other. So
Yeah.
But if it was just me and one of them, now I don't
Hmm.
want to just say me and Sebastian because he's the first. We would just end up being like everybody I see that is a mom and especially a son, they're like
Hmm.
best friends. I
Hmm.
don't know about, I haven't met a lot of single moms with daughters. Like I'm trying to think of that, but so many single
Chris
moms
is
with a son are like,
absolutely, I just thank God Chris has been nothing like how I was. I think the challenge comes with his autism. And by the way, he is high functioning.
oh
So
yeah.
this kid is like people, I think when they initially they're like, oh, like really, I wouldn't know that. But there are nuances
Yes, there
and
are.
there are nuances and you're like, okay, like there's but see, things are so awkward now. People are so awkward that you don't even know, you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, like
Yes.
but
I
I,
think
I
a lot of us were just undiagnosed autistic. Like
yeah.
people that didn't, like everybody in our generation is just now realizing we're ADHD. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, that's what that is. So I think there are a ton of people that are autistic and everybody just called them weird, but
Hmm.
they're just autistic.
I will tell you, and I'm gonna go back to this conversation I had with Chris, but I was thinking the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, our parents, definitely our grandparents, because there's like a word or verbiage term or whatever for everything. And
Hmm.
the other day, I was just like, I'm so fucking tired. I don't want to figure things out. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. I'm just tired. And in that moment, I remember just hearing the term several different places. Um, decision fatigue.
Hmm.
I was like, but it's real. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
fucking tired of having to decide something, having to whatever. I mean,
Everything.
from making dinner
Constantly.
to what to do here or there. And so our parents and our grandparents, what the fuck? It's decision fatigue.
Right. Like,
They
sit
were like,
down.
bitch, like you. I'm sorry, what? You mean life? You mean being
But
a human being? We're like, but there's a word, there's a term for it now. It's called decision fatigue.
sometimes I definitely think about that. I'm like, oh, we always are diagnosing something, and our people before us were just like you said, living. Like,
Yeah, it's about
does anybody care
decision
about no
fatigue.
terms?
My grandparents would be like, what are you talking about? You know, my grandfather would be like, I had to move 8 kids from Birmingham,
Oh,
Alabama to New York over the course of years so that we could be safe. And you're talking about decision fatigue?
you talk about logging into your cell phone and deciding what to order from somebody else? Okay. You talking
Is
about
that
you're
what you
tired of a paint color?
is is that what we're talking about? But I was having this conversation with Chris because he got a little like overwhelmed
Hmm.
when we were out in the wild
Hmm.
doing shopping for
Yeah.
a customer. And he he like held his like fist together like this. Like it just he
Hmm.
was at the
Hmm.
cart, but like an employee saw him or whatever. And she didn't feel like, thank God, like she didn't feel like intimidated or anything. He like did it with amongst himself, like quietly with himself.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean,
That's my middle so much. Oh.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but I mean, but with this, and you know, that's the thing I think about. Oh God, he's so huge. You
Right.
know, he's big old black. He's a big old black man because no one's looking at him
Yeah.
as a boy,
Right.
a 20-year-old boy. So I'll be honest, I got frustrated and I felt a little embarrassed. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Chris, we've
Yeah.
talked. And so when we got into the car, we were talking about that is still a sign of frustration or maybe even like no one knows what's going on. Like I
Right.
know how gentle and kind you are.
Yeah.
And I was just talking, I was like, I'll be honest, you know, and I told him, I was like, Chris, we've gone over techniques and stuff like that. And so frustrating, but also like a bit embarrassing. And I was asking him, how did you feel? Like you, or when things like that happen, somebody, you know, sees you do something or you, like, is there, like, do you ever have a moment where you have this feeling of embarrassment? And he doesn't.
No.
And especially with like, and I
No.
think some people just don't, but in his particular situation with autism, that's not something I finally realized that's not something I'm going to be able to use
I
to be able
get him out
to,
of that.
yeah, like I can't use that emotion with him.
I
And so then
mine
I got
either.
frustrated
Yeah.
all over again. I was just like, oh God. And no, and
You're
not
more human.
well, I know, and I was just like, it's so basically in that moment, I did feel fatigue. I was like, it's a lot. Like I can't what I know to go to when I'm in terms of the human experience, I can't use all the same things with him. And so now it's like it leaves me in a position where I'm just like, well, what do I do? Because there's still so much to teach him. And then there's times where I say to him, you just, because I'll say this, and although I don't know if it's going to work, I say, you know what? Somebody needs to embarrass the fuck out of you.
Oh,
Someone
no.
needs to, no, honestly,
Like
because I
80s,
mean,
90s bully.
outside of me, like someone
Yeah.
needs to say, that's not okay, or you need to calm, you know, or, you know, you, whatever. Someone, not me. Because that's, and even that might not even help. But I
It
do
may
know
not.
when he had a girlfriend, it it triggered emotions or it activated, I should say, emotions in him that were new. Like, so when
Oh.
he was not, when, you know, you could tell things were getting bumpy and they were about to break up, he came to me. He said, it just hurts right here. And he just pointed it to
Oh, that's so sweet.
her. And he was like, it. So it's a lot. It's it exhausts me. It takes a lot out of me,
Yeah.
just being real. To the point where sometimes I'm just like, I don't even want to talk to it anymore. I just want to let it be and him figure out life like I did. Because
Yeah.
my mom wasn't having these conversations with me. We weren't
Right.
talking about embarrassment or emotions or, stuff that I
Like, 'cause you're
did.
so aware of it. I don't feel like, well, it's like I don't want to teach them to be embarrassed. Like, but that crap worked on me, but at the same time, it also worked in a way
Mhm,
that isn't necessarily positive too.
mhm,
But at the same time, they need to have situational awareness, right?
mhm,
Like, and I think that is the key. So, I do work with Matisse because he holds his anger in his feet and his hands.
mm.
Like ever since he was a baby, when he was a baby, I knew he was upset based on his feet and his hands. Baby, baby, baby. And
So
so,
cute.
like
Sorry, that's
it,
so cute.
and it,
I'm
but
sorry.
like you said, it makes me so angry because I'm like,
Yeah,
A, I'll be like, this situation doesn't warrant necessarily this level of whatever you're feeling, but maybe it does to him. So it's like I have to like
this.
split myself up so much. Like I'm fighting myself from being going like over the top, like exploding on him because it's like
Yeah.
I know he doesn't mean to, can't control it. It's a part of his autism. But on the other side, I know this is unnecessary. Society is judging you. And when you get bigger, you're going to freak people out. We got to fix this now.
Mhm,
So, like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, what kind of thing could I have that he could have on him that he could transfer the energy to that may be subtle and he can do it and feel that same engagement without freaking everybody out at the same time. Like
mhm,
my mind, as
mhm.
soon as you said that, I'm like, start thinking about it now.
And
Because
the thing is, Chris will, um, yeah, because I guess what's been embarrassing for us. Oh,
yeah,
you gotta go. Chris
I
will.
do. They don't see it. Like I
Chris will.
don't.
When
He's
I
like, you
explain,
cried in school. He's like, yeah.
yeah, when I explain it to him, he's like, oh, he'll come back to me like an hour later, and be like, okay, I get what you're saying. There's still no emotion tied to it for him, but he's thinking it through, like the words, and yeah.
So mine is emotional about whatever. He's emotional about whatever is happening, but he doesn't feel embarrassment.
Hmm.
If like he's frustrated, he's overwhelmed, he might be
Hmm.
angry. That's what he's feeling about whatever is happening. But the things around him that could be judging the situation,
Hmm.
either he doesn't see it, doesn't care. And I'm like, but
Yeah,
everybody's
girl.
seeing you be upset. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
like,
And thankfully it was a older black
and
lady. It was an older
mhm,
black lady. He went away
mhm.
to bag some stuff and I just had like a quick little moment with her. She said, I saw that. Like when I mentioned like I was like, thank you, the autism. She was like, oh, honey. And then she like cause she was just a sweet older black lady,
Yeah,
who was just like, but that she could have not been an older black lady. She could have
yeah,
been, you know what I mean? Could have been told
yes,
yeah.
yeah. Could have been calling security.
I know, and I'm like, and it's exhausting, child. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And you got three kids, and then I do have to remind. I mean, whenever you say it, it's like one of those things, like when you say you're the only child, and I
Mhm.
forget, like or not
The
only child.
baby.
When you talk about your brother or
Yeah.
sister, I'm like, wait, what? And then when you mentioned the autism, I was like, oh, that's right. Like these are things that just you just remind me of because I completely forget
Okay.
about.
The thing is like it is what it is. I'm not sitting
Yeah.
here like dwelling on it. It's like all I can do is
Hmm.
solve.
It's
Solve for
I will tell
myself
you,
and solve for him.
it's been harder him being older
Yeah,
for me. Because I feel like the safety net of school is not there anymore.
I understand that. Yep.
All right, little Chica.
All right. I'm
I
gonna go get
know you
stuff to
ready to
eat.
go. And the
Yeah,
word of Mark is Shanae. Is it Shanae who said that?
I
Ready to
think
go.
so. I'm
Yeah.
ready to, or either Wanda or Wanda.
Wanda.
I'm ready
That might
to
have been
go.
Wanda.
Ugly, ugly comedians posed as women.
Black men being women. Gosh.
You know what? Somebody made it. I think Dave Chappelle made a big deal about that, which, I feel like if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it, like, period.
Hmm.
But white comedians definitely dress like women
Oh,
too.
they do it all the
I'm like,
time. They've
they
done
all
it.
do it.
They've done it all the time. I think the thing that people are saying is like, why does it have to take that to make it it did it ever? I don't know if it did. Like
Oh, yeah.
with what's his name? Tyler Perry.
Medea.
Um yeah, Medea, blah, blah, blah. Like it's always that to make it big. But I don't think that's the case. But
And I
maybe I don't know, honey.
and I think men is I gotta hurry up. I think men pretending to be women in comedy makes sense because there's certain things you don't necessarily need or
Hmm.
want a real woman to do. Like, hey, go play an
Yes.
ugly woman. Or you get cast because you're ugly and you're like, oh,
My
oh,
God, to have
we
to
need a talented bearded woman. We need a 6'3" ginormous woman that can play this character when Tyler Perry knows exactly what he wants her to be and he can embody it instantly. So, I'm like, there's a place in this space, and if that is not your place in space, that's cool. Don't do it.
Yeah, I mean Tyler Perry. I don't like. In the beginning, I liked his when I was younger. I don't like his work. I don't. But him playing the woman part that doesn't bother me. But his work in general, like, is it? I feel like it's always like oh, I'm not a slave anymore. Like I can't. It's too much. Like I can't. It's
Let me tell you this before I go. So my beautician that did my locks for me, he's like, "Oh, if you like P Valley, which I love." He's like, "You need to watch Beauty in Black." I was like, "Who's it by?" Tyler Perry. I'm like, huh? He's like, "It's good. I promise it's good." I give it a C. However, the story, this is what I don't like about my personality. I have to see the end of the story.
I get it.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want to turn this off.
No, I could drop
I have
it.
to see the end of the story. I got to see how this finishes. But
Yeah. P Valley was too much for me. Go
it is a
figure.
lot. It is a lot.
Well,
Some of it.
my best friends, when they came here, when my mom passed, and
They
we were
made you
just like
watch
laughing
it.
stuff, I was like, "Oh, I can't do this." Like, as soon as y'all leave, I'm not watching this anymore.
It's really, really raw, but it felt like for the most part, an authentic story. It felt down and dirty, and I was like,
It
"Ooh,
was
I
it
want to
took
be
place in
part of this
Mississippi,
life."
right?
Huh?
Mississippi. It took place in Mississippi.
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
so. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that little town. I was like, "Ooh,
Mississippi is just a weird place to me in general, and my
Mississippi,
uncle loves it.
Louisiana." Yeah, I don't see. There's the perspective. I feel like if you're not from Mississippi, Alabama, and kind of Louisiana, like I'm not from there, so I'm like afraid to like go.
With Mississippi, I think my issue is that it's the poorest state in the
Mhm.
United States,
Yeah,
and then you have like these
rich
like
pockets.
some of the richest people that I mean I don't know because they're like Mississippi, whatever that live. Some of the richest people live in Mississippi. I don't know what it is, but it's something weird about Mississippi. Like why is the powers that be in like what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what's going
It
on
feels
with
like
the
it's still
yeah.
tied to slavery. Some
Yeah, exactly. I don't got time for that. I cannot be in a state like that. Like I would not the vibe. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Like I
I
couldn't.
would always wonder, like, I don't know. I've wondered that everywhere. Like, are you racist? Are you
But the most racist place I've ever lived was T Chattanooga, Tennessee.
mm,
The white people there at the time I lived there, whew, whole
mm,
different.
scary.
Yeah, it was scary. But this was in 2008, 9, 10 too. So
That
I
wasn't
don't
that
know.
long ago.
But I mean, Tennessee is a red state, a very red state. So like, ain't no, like you can vote. Yeah, still vote, but just know
Yeah.
you're not like as it, anything outside of Republican is not going
Infinite
to win.
Inferno.
But it's still good to see the numbers, you know.
Yeah. We tried. We tried.
Maybe 50 years from now you'll see the it'll maybe become I don't know.
Well,
But
maybe later, but that's a whole other podcast.
all
Another
right, little Lisa. I gotta figure out this thing if I have what do you call it?
Je ne sais
Let's
pas.
see, Canva. So you can just do the stuff. I have to figure it out. I cannot figure it
Oh
out if I
yeah,
have
yeah,
Canva
yeah.
or
If you have
not.
a username password.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it
Try
out
and
before I
log
leave
in.
the house.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. All right, little Lisa. I saw that bag go on. It's time. You wrecked. You you wrecked to go.
I'm
Nice
ready.
little cute little chat.
Yeah.
And I will look up the Canva stuff for you.
Please do.
Yes, girl. I mean, because between your Zoom and my Canva, if I do have it, I think I do.
With our
Then I
powers
think
combined,
wait,
we are aligned.
how Your Zoom, my Canva. Oh
All
my
right.
God. All right, Lalisa.
Bye.
Oh, oh, Lisa and Todd.
I'm like, okay, bye.
This felt weird. I was like, what's missing? Okay, Lisa and Ton, take off.
Take off. Bye.
Off. That's right. Bye.
Coffee.
Coffee, which I'm about
Bye.
to get right now, actually.
Hmm.